Well, hello everybody. This week we're doing a return test. So one of the things that we're really keen on, I'm really keen on, is I make sure we do lots of quality testing before we send things out, but sometimes it goes wrong. And what we found is when things do go wrong, the typical reason can be vibration in transit. And in this case, lady she said bank robbing bunnies isn't saving correctly. And I tried it this morning and I had exactly the same issue. And I thought maybe there's either the microchip, the memory chip inside is faulty, or more likely the memory chip's not stuck to the board correctly. Because it's an intermittent fault, sometimes it saves and sometimes it doesn't. So I have my test cartridge.
Testing memory slot 100.
So it's writing the data in and then it will read it back from those memory slots and see if it works.
Reading back the data.
Now when we make this, we do this test with all the units. And then this one's gone out and then it's come back with a fault.
A fault has been detected. The system did not pass its memory test.
There we go. So we know
a fault has been detected. The system...
So we know there's a fault in there, but every single unit goes through this same test when it's sent out. So somewhere from sending it out to arriving, a memory fault has appeared. That's got to be either a loose memory chip or a faulty memory chip. Nothing to do with the cartridge, and the system is working. It's making sounds and lights. It's all on the memory chip. So let's take it apart and see if we can figure it out. Okay, so I'll take my sticker off. I've actually got a new sticker now. We were waiting on some laboratory tests before putting on the full real sticker, which has have I got one here? There we go. You know, it has all these legalese things and you've got to have the proper symbols, but you're not supposed to put those on until you've had certain laboratory tests. So that's why we've been on this one. This here is the memory chip, and sometimes they're not fixed to the board correctly. Let's have a closer look. I think there's nothing I can see there, and that looks really well on, which means there's a problem with the chip. So I'm just going to have to change the chip. All right, here's my chips. These are so expensive now, like crazy expensive. They used to be 10 pence and they're now like £1.20 or something. Yeah, and a cartridge needs one. So if you put 6 cartridges in a box, it went from being 60 pence to being £6. It's like really expensive. So that looks like my bad chip. We'll put a new one on, but we're going to work on it a little bit more just to make sure we got it really stuck down. This is flux. It just helps the solder. Make sure it's really soldered. Let's do a quick test.
A fault has been detected.
No.
The system did not pass its memory test.
Okay, we got a bigger problem.
A fault has been detected. The system did not pass its memory test.
Let's try. I'll just put the new firmware on and then, because that has a way to actually check. So it might be a fault with the processor, which we don't want that. That's even more expensive. Okay, let's try this. Detect. Ha ha ha. Detected. Program. Is this going to be the issue? How are we going to find it? This all takes time. This is an interesting one. I'm always keen. Thankfully we have so few faults, but anytime there is a fault, I always want to see what it was and ask if people can send it back to me so I can check it out.
Reading back the data.
Erasing the memory chip.
There we go.
Do not remove the test cartridge until the lights begin flashing again. The game unit has been checked, and the quality is superb.
So that's a weird one. I've not seen that before. That was like the firmware had become corrupted or something, or the main processor was glitching. Something wasn't right. It wasn't the memory chip, but there was obviously some reason, and it was purely down to the firmware. We changed the firmware and everything seems fine. Right, I'm going to have to go and play Bank Robbing Bunnies on this unit now and make sure everything saves and it works.
Select character.
This is Honey. I'm deploying the spikes. Bullseye!
That was perfect, Honey Bunny.
Getting away on motorbikes.
So let's get to a
They're going
checkpoint,
through the forest.
and then we'll restart it and make sure we're at the right
We can't
place.
follow them in.
Okay, so we turned it off. Now, if the memory's working, we should be back at that point.
Hot City Radio.
Press A to continue the crime spree. Let me just start my tape recorder.
Oh, it's working now.
Okay, this is Detective Eigerman. I've got word of
Strange.
a robbery believed to...
We changed the memory chip, we changed the firmware, everything works. Okay.
This is the news.
We just got to the next checkpoint. Will we now get to the right point?
You're listening to Rudy on...
Hot City Radio.
Press A to continue.
This is the news. With Seymour.
That's it. So we've tried 2 checkpoints and it works.
It looks like those.
It's working. Okay, this one is definitely back on its way back to its owner.